us here today, and I'm so happy to share with you 3 really important actions that the City Council took last Tuesday to help our small businesses here in Chula Vista. So first of all, we authorized $1.5 million for a small business grant program for these businesses that had to close down for an extended duration as a result of the pandemic. And what I'd like to notate is this is not a loan, this is a grant program, which is very different. Then we established a free permit program to allow outdoor options for restaurants to set up tables and canopies and retail shopping to display or sell their goods outside. And this is very necessary because, as you all know, as they're not allowed to conduct business inside, it really hurts the revenue that they can generate. So, and then we're placing an option for the temporary closure of 3rd Avenue on weekends from East Street to Center, should 3rd Avenue businesses choose to implement this activity. Let me give you a few more details. The grant program is called Chula Vista Cares, and it allows for a business to receive up to $6,000 in funds to help them continue to operate, to pay employees, and to stay open until restrictions are lifted. And these funds have been allocated to the city through the federal CARES dollars. The funding is needed to be allocated quickly, so we are opening the application period on Monday, July the 20th at 7 a.m., and it closes Friday, July 24th at 7 p.m. So we know that this is great news for businesses. We have about 4,000 business licenses in the city of Chula Vista. However, we know that the $1.5 million is not nearly enough for all businesses, and we have 95% of our businesses in Chula Vista that are small businesses that have been significantly impacted by the mandatory closure requirements during the COVID-19 pandemic. And we want to reach out to those that need this assistance. So you can find the complete eligibility requirements and additional details are available at www.chulavistaca.gov/businesses. The council also approved an item to establish a free permit process that will allow businesses along 3rd Avenue between E and G Streets to expand their operations into the public right-of-way with, of course, number 1, social distancing and queuing areas, 2, sidewalk cafes, and or curbside cafes. Many restaurants in Chula Vista have expanded their businesses into the sidewalk as public health mandates have closed indoor dining. This permit will allow businesses on 3rd Avenue to create a larger outdoor experience. We hope that these actions will provide a boost to our small businesses so they can make it through this pandemic. We can support our local economy and each other by keeping safe. Now, I would like to introduce National City Council member Gonzalo Quintero, better known as Dr. Q to everyone. He lives in National City, but he works here in downtown Chula Vista. He's a co-owner of the tavern, and he is also the general manager of La Belle's Pizza. So, Dr. Q, welcome.
Thank you, everyone, for coming to the South Bay today, and thank you for mentioning my involvement in City Council in National City. You know, National City just is the neighbor to the north, and Chula Vista and us share a special bond as we do with the entirety of the South Bay community. But today I'm here to thank the City of Chula Vista and all the leadership for not only providing us access, but support during this time. Access in the form of access to the public right-of-way, and support in form of how to do it and how to do it properly. As the mayor mentioned, you know, this gives us an opportunity to not only provide more service to our friends and neighbors by providing seating for bars and breweries and restaurants, but also to do so in a meaningful way that provides social distancing in a safe and effective manner. But additionally, you know, when the state mandate came down to reduce capacity inside, That meant a reduced capacity to do business, which meant a reduced capacity to create tax revenue. So not only are we being able to keep people working, we're keeping families secure, and we're keeping our business not only surviving but thriving during this time. We've seen not only an increase in foot traffic, but also an uptick in business. And moving forward, we welcome the idea of the closed streets, which is an opportunity to be pro-people, which is a healthy choice for our customers and our consumers, making it a walkable community and providing us even more access to more space. Will provide an opportunity for our friends and neighbors to see what we have to offer here in the South Bay and really showcase what 3rd Avenue is all about. We support an effort led to create a well-coordinated event and a well-executed event going forward. And I'd like to welcome the president of the 3rd Avenue Village Association and co-founder of 3rd Avenue Ale House, Ms. Kendall Manning.
Good afternoon. I just want to thank the city for taking the opportunity to really listen to the business needs. As the president of 3rd Avenue Village Association, we have worked closely between the businesses and the city, trying to figure out a way to help sustain the businesses and create a safe environment for our neighborhood. And things like the immediate response to being able to expand our sidewalks and our streets has really spoken volumes. They've paved the way for us to look at closure of 3rd Avenue and allowing family to come and walk up and down the street to stroll in a really safe way, to visit our businesses. And we are looking at what that looks like, how we will implement that, but that really gives us vision into the future and how we can respond and continue on. The grant money that the city has allocated is a direct response to the needs of the businesses. It really speaks to the culture of Chula Vista with the amount of small businesses we have, a lot of mom and pop shops, a lot of local business owners. So it meets our needs as a business owner, and we are so thankful for those opportunities that we've had.
Thank you. Thank you, Kendall. And I just wanted to add something. You're looking at two small business owners here, and I really extend my heartfelt appreciation for their ability to adapt very nimbly during this crisis. And I also want the public to know that here in Chula Vista, the renaissance of 3rd Avenue, the economic resurgence in many parts of our community are driven by local people like Gonzalo and Kendall's family that have put their entire future and resources invested here in the city of Chula Vista. And we are really committed to making sure that they make it through the pandemic and in the best possible way. And I also want to thank our economic development team that's here, Miranda Evan and Kevin Poiter. These are the staff persons that developed these policies for the City Council to vote on, and I really appreciate your work. I really want to thank Marie Cachadorian, our city manager, that is here with us today, and her commitment to make sure that economic development stays on the forefront in the city of Chula Vista. So with that, we are open for any questions that you might have. Yes.
Are there any thoughts on expanding the free permits to businesses that are not on 3rd Avenue so they can have tables outside whether they're located or in different areas?
Yeah, so we're looking at any opportunity that will allow businesses to expand out in the open. And we know that that is happening throughout other areas of Chula Vista where there is space within parking lots and the strip malls for businesses to expand out. So we are really looking forward to working with any business that wants to do that. Any other questions?
So this expansion is just be for 3rd Avenue as far as?
Well, encroaching out into the street and the closure is limited right now to 3rd Avenue.
But other businesses can do the sidewalk.
Yeah. Yes. So that's encroachment into the street. But relative to going out in the sidewalk, it's permitted in other areas. Yes.
And then for the closure of the street, that would be like Friday through Saturday?
the council approved closure of 3rd Avenue between the hours of 4 p.m. On Saturday through 10 p.m. on Sunday night. So it would be a weekend closure, but not beginning until 4 p.m. That was in response to retail businesses that felt that closing the street would block off through traffic. So we certainly want to be sensitive to their needs as well, and that's why the closure won't start until 4 p.m. on Saturday. The timing of that is dependent on when TAVA wants to execute this plan. So they may not be ready for it this Saturday, but we're giving them the opportunity to be able to do that when they are ready, when they get the permitting or all the plans in place to make sure that it's a safe opening for a closure of the street.
Can you go over the top 3 or 4 criteria for businesses to be eligible?
The eligibility, first of all, they had to be financially impacted by the COVID closure. Kevin, can you help me on this one? Yeah, and you can step up and speak to that. Kevin Poiter from our economic development team.
So some of the criteria for being eligible for the grant funding that we have available is that the business will have had to have closed for a sustained extended duration of time resulting from the governor's stay-at-home order as well as the county public health orders. In addition, the business has to be a small business, so that means 10 or fewer full-time equivalent employees. And the business must be a business that is for-profit, located in a commercial or industrial space. So, for example, home-based businesses would be excluded. Those are the primary criteria, and the additional criteria are available on our city website.
The amount of time was kind of vague. What do you, 3 days, a week?
So it's primarily for the businesses that have experienced a required closure for 60 days or longer. So that includes businesses such as restaurants that are providing dine-in services, barbershops, hair salons, some of those businesses that were required per the mandate to stay closed beyond those 60 days.
Okay. Any further questions?
If anyone wants a one-on-one, everybody's available.
Yeah.
Dr. Q can answer in Spanish if anybody wants a one-on-one. Mayor's available. Kendall's up to you.
Okay. Thank you very much.